Welcome, world. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? That's good, man. That's real good. I'd like to welcome y'all to another episode of Smitty Snippets. Today I'm joined by my amazing panel, my lovely sister Christina, and Casanova Frankenstein, otherwise known as Casanova Frankenstein. We got a pretty good show for y'all today. Almost messed up. Use your real name. Some people, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Don't do that. I got
Uh,
warrants. Don't do it.
got a pretty good show today. We're gonna talk about some show news and some stuff that kind of got under my skin, our skin, I think, this week. Still have to do with movies and shows though. So, Chris, why don't
Yep.
you let him have it?
So just want to thank you all for joining us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We got a pretty big show for y'all this week, so we're going to get right into it. We may not even get to all of it. Fingers crossed. Our first topic that we're going to discuss kind of came up organically based upon the conversation that was occurring on Discord this week. So the Mission Impossible, the Final Reckoning, is scheduled for release May 23rd, which is Memorial Day weekend. For those of you who may not have known, just FYI, stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, Haley Atwell as Grace, Ving Rhames as Luther, and Simon Pegg as Benji. Based on the conversation that we had in Discord, the question that was kind of came up was, does the new trailer excite you about the new installment, or could society have gone on and the series left to the ages with Mission Impossible Fallout, which came out in 2018?
Was that question for me? Okay.
I was like, I'll start.
Go ahead.
I'm excited. It was like I liked all of the Mission Impossible films thus far. It was like
Hang on.
This whole thing
Saying
could have wrapped up.
it can't hear us.
Oh no.
Can't hear us at all.
Oh no.
What is that about?
Irish, can you hear us?
Can anybody hear us?
Can hear.
Smitty, type it in the.
Help me.
Okay, they can hear.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
All right. You good? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to say.
I'm gonna redo the question just in case. Apologize for the apologize. Oh, we're okay. So Ninaverse said she had to log out and back in. Was the question heard by everyone though?
Run it back.
All right, I'll do it again. All right, I'll do it again. Again, the question was, because Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, we had the discussion on Discord earlier this week. I won't go through the stars again, but the question basically is, due to the conversation that took place on Discord, does the new trailer excite you about the new installment, or could society have gone on and the series left to the ages with Mission Impossible Fallout, which came out in 2018? And Casanova, I think you'd started.
Yeah. I'm excited. It was like technically this movie could have ended with the third one. Was like when I think that was the one where he walked off with his wife after she was almost killed by the villain of the piece. And then ever since then, Tom Cruise has come back to hang off of a plane or jump over a chasm on a bike or do his own stunts, thinking he's some kind of, he's trying to one up or catch up to Jackie Chan or something. So it's fine. It was like, I'm totally fine with it. It's like, I want to see how they end it. That's my biggest curiosity. It was like, are you going to end it where 65-year-old Tom Cruise goes off into the sunset? Or are you going to leave it open-ended? He could come back at 75 trying to save the world again.
But would you have been
like, that's more.
Would you have been interested in how it ended had they not done Dead Reckoning in 23? Because it would have been. So you would still have been looking for something to quote unquote end it?
Yeah, because he ain't got nothing else to do. It was like, you're gonna throw out another Top Gun. It was like, and it was like, I ain't asked for that. It was like, I didn't ask for the last Top Gun because you told everything you needed to do. You throw out this one. He was good in that, and that was kind of fun. But now we're gonna do Top Gun 3, and I'm gonna throw out Days of Thunder too. It was like, all right, Tom, I think you need to sit down and be somebody's active grandpa playing bocce or something. Because
Wow,
Right.
you hear that shit, Tom? You need to go
wrap it
sit
up.
your old ass down somewhere. I'll stop making these movies. That's what you need to do.
Goodness.
I think it's amazing. Like it's not like the rest of these movies. I can't think of any other movies to compare it to right now. But every time they do one, the plot seems to be interesting. And just when you think that they can't do something else, they come out with AI, and I'm like, wow, like this is so interesting. Where the bad guy is a computer virus. I'm like, how do you beat that? So now you piqued my curiosity. I'm so interested to see how they deal with this. And I don't know if you saw, but Tom broke his old ass ankle jumping from roof to roof. Did you see that?
No.
Mhm.
Yeah, he kind of
That's
panicked a
all.
little bit when he jumped to the roof, and he put his foot out there, and his ankle did some S maneuver.
Well,
Huh?
doesn't he like
Something
to
that the
do his
body is
own
supposed to
stunts in
do.
all of the movies or whatever? Or at least some of the stunts in the
Yeah,
movies?
like
So
now,
he
but it's not
he
like he was doing this like since like cocktail. He was mixing drinks, and that's when he got the bug to do his own stunts. He was like, I can shake these bottles and mix these drinks up, and I'm gonna start doing my own stunts." It's like it seems like it's a extreme version almost of a midlife crisis, and it's just playing out in the movies. And
Dang.
I'm fine with it because it's been kind of fun. It was like, and I'm all right. But if this next movie ends with him hitting Control Alt Delete and rebooting the computer, I'm gonna be disappointed.
First of all, before we go any further, I want to say hello to some people who are in the comments section. Saggy Star, what's going on? And Julie
Hey,
B Deep
Saggy
Dives is
Star.
making an appearance
Hey,
today.
Julie. Thanks
Julie,
for joining.
how are you doing? You could
All
have
right,
been on the
Julie.
show. Could have been on the show. You know, you don't have to sit in the comments section, girl. You family now, huh? Have to do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's 60. I think he's 61 now. 60.
Yeah, something like that. 61,
Mm.
62, something like that.
Yeah, you don't need to be jumping from rooftop to rooftop, huh? Your bones can't take that shit no more, huh? Okay, you got to go get you some of that Mylanta, whatever it is them old folks be taking. Go sit down somewhere, huh? Do something. Do a movie where you got to sit down in a chair, like a typewriter movie or some shit. I don't know, something. You know,
I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think he's addicted to the adrenaline rush of it all, which is why I feel like has chosen to do his own stunts.
he has been absolutely, from what I've read about him, he has been absolutely a professional about his craft. He's always
Hmm.
had to watch his weight. He didn't play around. Like he was always into what he had to do,
Hmm.
and a lot of people that worked with him admired his craft for how serious he took it. Like he never took
Hmm.
it for granted. So
Hmm.
I mean, from what I've seen, he's been to stay as active and to do your own stunts at 61, bruh. Like I'm not doing that. I can barely go outside and jump rope, and he jumping from building to building. So
Stupid.
it's
Whew.
it's
Yeah,
pretty
almost break my
ridiculous.
down the street. So yeah, well, I'll give it to him, but at the same
Okay.
time,
All right.
sound Tom.
Oh boy. You gotta
Yeah,
hold it
before
down.
before we go any further, I was with Julie B last night. We were talking about The Last of Us. Pretty interesting conversation last night, and she let me come on, and we talked for a little while. And if you wouldn't mind, go to her channel, check her out. She talks about some very interesting stuff.
Hmm.
Um, she's very interesting lady, and
Hmm.
she's good people,
Yep.
and her subject matter is always interesting. I love being on her show,
Hmm.
and that's why I say she's family on this show. Like she come on anytime she wants. So
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, if you have a chance after we're done this live, make sure you pop over there, take a look at her site. She is an amazing YouTuber. So like Smitty said, she is one of the family. And as he said, is welcome to come on anytime. But she does go through a lot of the topics. That's why it's called deep dives, because my girl be getting into it. So if you guys are interested in that, and then pop over there, make sure you like, share, subscribe hers also. But are y'all ready for the next topic, or was there any other dragon, Mr. Cruz you'd like to do?
um, no dragon,
Not,
but I'm
not
I
dragging. It's just like saying, it's like, come on, Tom.
I think that this is
Come on.
probably the most interesting. Like this has probably been my favorite two movies. I mean, the second one isn't out
Really?
yet. Yes,
Okay.
the last movie they did was probably my favorite. I think it's
Is
probably my favorite. I've never seen him do some of the
be-
stuff that he does.
because of how they set it up with him not being familiar with how to fight technology,
It's just
or
it hasn't been thought of. I mean, people have fought AI before, right? But they have
Mhm.
not had to deal with someone. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'm going to give away a little bit, but they haven't had to deal with someone who had a computer or artificial intelligence tell them exactly what was going to happen when, based on percentages and the likely outcome. It's it was very interesting to watch, and I was like, "Wow, this is really really good." I mean, to the point where there was a scene where a gentleman he had to get off a train, and he knew exactly what was going to happen when it was going to happen, and he knew where to stand on that train and fall back off that train so he could land on a pad that was on the back of a truck. It was down to the exact second. I mean, how do you fight something like that? So I found it interesting. I'm waiting for this next episode. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this. Saggy Star says, "What is this? This
Yeah,
is Mission
Mission
Impossible." Saggy,
Impossible.
come on
Yep,
now. Mission
yep,
Impossible.
yep.
Dead Reckoning. Got to go see that.
hmm Yeah. And
So
again, for those of you who may not have been able to hear us in the beginning, yes, the topic was Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, that is due to release the 23rd of May, which again is Memorial Day weekend. So, and then you watch it and then come on back and then we'll have a whole discussion about it. How's that?
no, Saggy, it's not out yet. It comes out. I think.
May 23rd.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right.
There's that day. All right.
All right. All right.
I think
Next
we can move on.
topic is Fantastic Four First Steps, due to be released July 25th. Director Mark Shakeman has confirmed that this isn't going to be filled with cameos, and has actually been quoted as saying, "We're now in our own universe," which is wonderful and liberating. There's really no other superheroes. There's no Easter eggs. There's no running into Iron Man or whatever. They're it in this universe. He's also quoted to say, "I love this interconnected Marvel universe, but we get to do something so new and so different. Eventually, this world will meet up with other worlds, but for now, this is our own little corner." The final part of that statement gave a nod that to the Avengers Doomsday, that they're going to be up in that as well. And the Fantastic Four First Steps is expected to avoid any form of reference to any other MCU characters and events. So, question: what do you think about the separation in this movie, and how do you suspect they will introduce these characters in Avengers Doomsday? Would it be something like the multiverse or some other aspect that maybe we're not familiar with? Smitty, you want to
Do you
take
want
that
to go
one?
first, Casanova?
Oh, all right, Casanova.
I can. It kind of makes sense that there's no other heroes, because if the Fantastic Four is kind of like a retro future '60s type of thing, ain't nobody else born yet. Spider Man's not born, Tony Stark's not born, Banner's not born, ain't none of them born. Cap's still frozen somewhere. So technically, it makes sense that none of those other characters show up. But if they're just not existing,
Mm-hmm.
period. But also for how they're gonna probably do the Doomsday and then eventually Secret Wars, it also makes sense because I think they're going to do a kind of multiversal, like you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
because I think they hinted at some of the stuff in the What If show and in the last Doctor Strange movie with the incursions and whatnot. So I think that's going to be part of it, where a bunch of worlds start smashing in each other and Doom throws all that stuff together and does all kinds of crazy nonsense after that. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm fine. It's like if you just focus on them and whoever Galactus and the Silver Surfer and that's it. That's fine with me. It was like I don't need any other miscellaneous Easter eggs, even though they'll probably be there some kind of way, they just won't be called out. It'll be one of
Maybe.
those things that, oh, I know what that is, and if you know, you know, and then that's all that is. But I'm fine.
Me personally, very quickly before we get to you, Smitty, I'm with Saggy Star. I really wish. What is this, like the 5th remake of Final Four? I kind of need them to like,
Final Four.
or not Final
For the
Four,
basketball?
Fantastic Four. Sorry, this is like the 5th time that they've done this though. Like I'm with you, Saggy Star. But go ahead, Smitty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, no one gives a shit. No one cares about this movie. Stop making this goddamn movie. Nobody cares about the Fantastic Four. Nobody. Not even Fantastic Four. Huh? We don't want to see hero families. Nobody wants to see that. They done made this 16 times, and all 16 times they done got an F. Nobody wants to see this shit. Nobody. I don't understand how many times you have to watch this trash and go, you know what we should do? Who wants to do Fantastic Four again? Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to watch it.
Okay, but wait, could it be similar to what they did initially with granted they've done it a lot more, but could it be similar to what they did with like Spider-Man and the Hulk, where or even not Green Lantern, what was the other one? I can't remember, but where they initially came out and they weren't received well, right? And then someone keeps picking it up like, but I can make it better. Like I got this. I can do it. I'm the one.
No, because they're family. No one cares about family. Nobody wants to see a family of superheroes, right? Nobody cares about Stretch Man and Invisalign or whatever her name is. No one cares about them, right? They just want to see a hero. Right? Want to see a hero, either female or male, get their ass kicked and then get up at the end and beat the bad guy. That is literally the formula for every superhero movie ever made. Hero's born, hero gets his ass kicked, hero comes back at the end and beats the bad guy. Right? Now you got a family, they sharing dinners, they kissing, planning weddings.
Yeah, what
they doing all that other stuff. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Flame on. Shut up. Might want to see that mess.
But listen. They're gonna have a nemesis in this. Casanova, if I'm not mistaken, we were talking earlier this week. I can't remember their nemesis name, but
Galactus.
Yeah,
Galactus will be the nemesis. Yeah, so
right.
Like the most successful Fantastic Four movie they made so far wasn't the Fantastic Four, it was The Incredibles. And everybody went and saw that. So you had Fox doing the Fantastic Four, and a lot of that stuff they was doing. Some of that I think was just to keep the license, and they just couldn't get it right. They didn't get the tone right, so it was just one of those things. They didn't know what the hell he was doing. So it's like, and that showed. Disney has it because they bought all of the Marvel stuff, and if they get it wrong, then it's like, all right, well, you'll see Fantastic Four one more time in Doomsday, and then they'll be backup characters somewhere else.
All right. I mean, I'm just go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, because I think Casanova was saying that with them not interacting with any other Avengers or what have you like that, because they were from the 60s. But as much as they've moved throughout time, I mean, we got so much multiverse stuff going on that they can't just happen to say it again.
You don't know how far along they are into their Fantastic Fourness. So it's like, has Reed discovered his dimensional gates yet? Has he done any of that stuff? Is like he in the cusp of that, and Galactus come down here and say, "Hey, what you doing? I'm going to eat this planet because you invited me here to a buffet and all this." So who knows? But until you know what the plot is and to see whether they can execute it or not.
Go ahead, Smitty. What is the problem?
It's all of it. All of it. All of it is a problem, right? It's all a problem. They had you want to see a bad guy who's comparable to the powers of the good guy, right? So you have Superman, who has to fight Lex Luthor, right? Luthor has the mind, Superman has the power, and all of that, right? You got Batman, you got Joker, chaos, and someone who plays by the rules. That works together. You got a superhero family and something that can eat planets. planets. How am I supposed to fight that? How am I supposed to fight that? How do you fight that? Huh? What are we supposed to do about that? Move. Get in your car or whatever it is you got, your little spaceship, and say goodbye to your planet, huh? Just because you can't fight that. You can't fight that. That's not. Okay, the second you go in there, we're like, okay, this is bullshit. He's way too big. You can't fight that, man. You can't fight that, and it just it's ridiculous at that point. It's just nobody. Are you buying that?
So you would have preferred if they did have some interaction with Avengers, or are you just saying if they kind of came together like or Avengers where they're not related but they had their own distinct power?
I think Fantastic Four. They tried to go darker with Fantastic Four, and it didn't work. That's when they had Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, them is Johnny
Johnny
Storm.
Blaze.
Yeah,
Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm. Yeah, it didn't work. The movie was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. But they think that if you switch the characters, like that, it'll work. Or if they make the characters cooler, it'll work. Or if they bring in Silver Surfer, it'll work. Or if they make Galactus a dust cloud, it'll work. None of it's gonna work because it's Fantastic Four. That's why. That's why it's not gonna work.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop it. Please stop making that shit movie. Stop it.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. We are going to move it right along because about to have a moment. All right, so we're gonna move on to Minecraft. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, Minecraft, the movie recently released, has caused some behaviors of children in the movie theaters due to a TikTok trend called chicken jockey, which refers to the rare situation when a zombie character rides a chicken like a horse in the game Minecraft. This trend of chicken jockey in the movie theaters involves throwing food and drinks at the screen during the movie, causing significant damage in some cases. The director, Jared Haas, shared his joy over social media trend, and he said it was hysterical, adding that he'd been sent a lot of the videos of this particular trend. In some cases, police are being called and kicking out several spectators out of the theaters, indicating that they were screaming and throwing popcorn during the actual chicken jockey scene. And a township in Washington Township, New Jersey, has started requiring all minors intending to see a Minecraft movie be accompanied by an adult, and unaccompanied groups of boys will not be admitted. So I was just curious to know what you two gentlemen thought, one, of the trend, and do you is this specific okay, is this specific because of these might have, how old is Minecraft, Smitty?
Oh,
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's been around for a while. Yeah.
So could this have been children who grew up playing the game, or
no? It's just assholes.
Okay. All right. So
that's all.
Let's get into what y'all think. Let's get into what y'all think about it. Just get it.
I do not pay. Go ahead, Smitty.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you got it. You got it.
I do not pay $10, $15 to go see a movie. They see a group of kids yelling and screaming and trying to share a moment on their phone. Because the moment that they share on their phone might be them getting beat down because I had to pay $10, $15 to watch this movie, and now you interrupted it and just destroyed everything. It was like, you want to have fun, you want to laugh, that's one thing, but all of this other stuff just to get on TikTok is ridiculous. And also, somebody gonna get hurt. It's all fun and games, and the director likes it until somebody gets beat down or worse at one of these screenings because they decided to go off. And all it takes is that one time, and then it's like, well, we were just having fun. You spent your parents' money to get here. I did not. It was like, you need to take that shit somewhere else. Wait till he comes out home video, scream and yell in your living room, mess up your own family's house or something. But no, it's ridiculous.
Okay. So Casanova is clearly of the view that this is these are ill-behaved children and should not be allowed to do it. What do you think, Smitty?
I'm gonna be as honest as I
Let's
possibly
not be
can.
that honest and like
No,
try and
no,
reel it.
no, no. It needs to be said. It
No,
needs to be said. Listen,
no.
listen, listen. I don't know how many. I don't know how many parents are gonna watch this. Okay. I don't know how many parents are gonna watch this at some point or whatever. I'm just putting out a. I'm just putting out a PSA. Okay, to
Mhm.
all you parents out there who got these kids who may not know that they're bad, right? But you see them doing bad shit and you don't like to stop it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna your kid up. If your kid starts throwing anything, popcorn, lotion, soda, I promise to God, let me, just a drop of anything from your child, I'm gonna whoop his ass right in front of you, right in
So
front of you. It's
so
going
wait,
down. I promise. I
this
don't care. I don't care. You better call security because that's the only way I'm getting off. That's the only way I'm getting off. You know better. You knew better. You know what to do. You know what it is. You knew your kid. You knew your offspring was bad. Now you want to bring him to the movie theater. You want to throw shit. Kiki, mommy. Look, mommy. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm telling you right now. Right now. And I'm just being as honest as I can. I don't know how y'all been getting away with it this long, where y'all just be doing stuff, and y'all think you could just let your kids do whatever out there in the wild. You can't do that, man. Who told y'all that was okay? Throwing shit on other people. I don't know what the hell wrong with y'all, man. Y'all better get it together.
so
That's
let
how
me
y'all end
ask
up in the
you,
news.
do you
I don't.
think
That's how you end up in the news or in the paper or something.
do you think the director owns some of this based on his comment of him thinking that like it's, I guess, cute or whatever? Like, do you think he owns this?
It's about money. They don't care. The more those people do it, right? Because it's a trend, people are going to want to gravitate to the movies to do it, right? They're going to want to go there and then throw their hands up and have a good time and be part of that TikTok trend. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. I bet you they don't do this in certain neighborhoods. I bet you they don't do that. I bet you they don't do that in certain neighborhoods. Huh? I'm telling you right. You already know what I'm
Like,
saying.
then he might have some kind of like he might
So
have some kind of like back end on this too, where it's like the
okay.
more money the movie makes, the bigger kickback he gets, and then he gets an opportunity to direct something else. He's
They
like,
making
"Oh, I
money.
did the
They making
Minecraft
money,
movie,
but
and it made
they
this
making
much."
money.
So
They making money.
he ain't gonna say stop doing it, but he needs to say, "Hey, let's not do this because
He
there
ain't
might be
gonna
some
because it's
guy named
bringing in
Snoop trying to
dollars. He
beat
could.
you down or something like
He
that."
don't. They don't
Yeah.
care about them kids.
So
They don't care
you
about them
think
kids.
even so you think even know like him knowing that it's causing, like they said, like pretty bad damage in some of the theaters, that he's co-signing with what the kids are just so that on so that he can make his dollar.
Why would he care? You would have to be a decent human to give a shit, and there ain't none of them left. There ain't none of them left.
Movie
You would have
theaters,
to care, and nobody cares, right? They
Okay.
don't care.
the movie theaters, and it's bringing people into the movie theaters, which is something that they
Yeah,
want anyway. So
Right.
they ain't
yeah,
going to save so much. They would like, oh yeah, we'll have a separate screening where y'all can go off all day and just in there. And it's like, no, because ain't
yeah,
people like, oh, that one sold out. We'll go see this one. And then you got them throwing stuff and somebody getting hurt because you're doing that. So no,
yeah.
it was
It was a
something that.
kid. My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you good. Go ahead.
There was a kid who got hit in the face with a hot sauce bottle. Now, who in the hell?
No.
Okay, it's popcorn and soda. Who is bringing hot sauce to the movie theater? Huh? In a jar, no less.
So it
In
wasn't
a
a packet,
container.
it was one of the glass jars.
Now I'm just gonna be honest. I already know who did that. Okay, I already know who did that. That's my folks. That's us. We definitely did that shit. That we did that for sure. And I'm sorry to whoever out there had to who caught the brunt of that. But that's something we do. So we gotta stop this, man. Yeah, we gotta be better at this. Huh? We eating detergent. We out here drinking cinnamon. We just doing all types of dumb stuff because somebody was like, "Ooh, I got a challenge. I need." Come on, children. Huh? If you out there, I beg you, be smart.
You
Be
stupid.
smart. Go to college or something. Do something smart with your time. Stop Stop eating poison
Gosh.
and messing with people.
Oh my gosh. All right. All right. I whatever. I digress. All right. Batman 2. I know you guys are excited for Batman 2, right? Yeah. All right. Batman 2 is set to be directed by Matt Reeves. The hopeful release date is October 2027, starring Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, Colin Farrell as Oz, Andy Serkis as Alfred, and Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. Speaking with Inverse, Jamie Lawson, who played Bella Real in The Batman, has revealed that the cast has not yet heard anything concrete about Batman 2. She says she would love to share some insight on what's going on with the Batman sequel. However, the cast is still waiting to hear about Batman 2. The movie was to begin production toward the end of 25. However, because Robert Pattinson, who holds the role as the main character, is reportedly joining Dune 3. It seems like the film may suffer yet another delay. So, with that being said, do you all think the movie will ever be made? And if so, has your excitement for it gone by the wayside because of the many delays? Or are you still interested in what may come of the movie once it's completed? Like, are you afraid the delays may have caused like some creative issues or something along those lines?
You got it. Go ahead.
No, I think it's going to get made. I think the bigger question is going to be like, it's not this Batman is not going to be part of the James Gunn stuff. So that's going to be a totally different Batman, apparently, with all that's going to go with that. So I would think it would depend on whose script is ready first on how fast the Batman 2 gets made. If James Gunn, because they delayed their Batman movie, so if him and his team can crack the script and everything else first and want to get ahead of the camera, then that's going to delay the Batman 2 further. But him doing Dune, like, I know that initially they were looking at him, but they didn't have a formal offer to him yet. So it was still just talk at this particular time. And he's like, he'll be 40 soon or something like that. So like him playing, like, how old is that version of Batman going to be? So, but ultimately, I think
Right.
they'll do it, but their window, I think, will be closing depending on the James Gunn stuff. I think that's the bigger problem than more than anything else.
Okay.
But I'd be excited to see it. I like the first one.
Well, okay. So I have a quick question. Like, do you think because we keep seeing similar items such as this where the main character is like pulled in a bunch of different directions as far as like multiple projects. Is that I hate to say it this way, but it's the only way I can think of it. Is that due to, you think, like a lack of star quality in Hollywood, like actors of a certain, you know,
Some stuff you can
threshold
get
or
like some stuff. I think it helps when you don't have somebody that's as well known on
mm-hmm,
taking roles like that, because
mm-hmm,
then it's like, all right, you can just focus on the character itself instead of here's Leonardo DiCaprio as Batman. Then all you're gonna
mm-hmm.
do is see Leonardo DiCaprio probably pretend to be Batman, and that's not gonna work. So it's like, I think an unknown actor can help.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pattinson wasn't unknown when he took Batman. It was like he was
Mm-hmm.
just somebody who was like, oh, I didn't think that he was going to be able to be a decent Batman. And he was,
Mm-hmm.
for what that story was.
Mm-hmm.
So, but ultimately, I think it just comes down to, oh, we had a story, but we couldn't do it because this, that, and the third was going on.
Okay.
So I think what they need to do is stop announcing stuff, or if you have something that hits, have the hubris to be working on a sequel off on the side. And then that way, if something hits, it's like, hey, I already got the idea for a sequel, and then you could green light it,
Mm-hmm.
or do like they did in the '70s, film stuff back to back, but actually pay the actors for the two movies instead of trying to do it in secret and then breaking that
Right.
stuff up
Right.
and
Right.
showing out like they did with the original Superman and the Three Musketeers and all that other stuff.
All right.
So
All right, Smitty. Well, what do you think about the Batman 2, or yeah, being delayed because of the main actor being pulled in many different directions?
I mean, I don't care. If I'm being
Okay.
honest, I liked the first Batman. It was decent. but I
Mm,
don't give a shit. I don't care. It seems like good movies have kind of gone by the wayside.
mhm.
They
So you're not
um
excited potentially for?
I mean, the last one surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was, and
Mhm,
it was really good. I was kind of looking forward to this one, but I don't know if you saw that. I'm trying to bring it up here in a minute, but they said that that the production of movies has gone down a
mhm,
lot in the last year or so. Like there's not a lot of
mhm.
movies being made at the moment, and I mean
I
it's
think that's
fine because they're
because most of them have moved to shows and TV. But go ahead.
well they're yeah well that's part of it. They
Mhm,
wanted to use the actors aren't getting paid a lot, and a lot of these movies are just cash grabs. There's no interesting story whatsoever. I think movies like Mission Impossible are kind of like a dying breed, or like they're going the way of the
mhm,
dinosaur. And
mhm.
now you're gonna be watching shit like that movie I just saw with Pattinson. Is he's got
Where
doubles and
he?
triples or
Yeah.
whatever that movie is called. That movie's ass. I didn't even finish it. I
What?
paid 20 yeah I paid $22 to watch that, and I sat there with my eyeballs on fire,
It's
and I couldn't
supposed to be
watch it
a
anymore. I was like,
comedy.
turn
It's
this
supposed
shit on, turn it on, and turn it on.
to be a.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. It
Oh.
wasn't funny at all. Not at all. And it's just bad.
Well, how far did you get?
Probably halfway.
Halfway.
I got halfway. Yep. And I had to bite the bullet. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'll just have to eat that $20. Boop. Turned it right off. I did not care at all. Nope. No, my time is more valuable than that. Go watch it. Go watch it.
Nope.
Go watch it.
No,
Mm-mm.
you
Just
just
for
said it
those
was
of you out there,
bad.
you saw it.
Come
Yeah.
on.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know what it is. You know it's
No.
bad. You don't need me to tell you. You saw it. You saw it.
Goodness. All right. Well, I mean, now I did see the previews in the movies, but I thought it was gonna be. I already knew I wasn't gonna watch it, but I thought it was gonna be funny at least.
Well, swing and a miss.
Okay.
Huh?
All right.
Swing and a miss. You're bad. My bad too, because I paid 20. You know how mad I was? I was like, God damn it. After I turned it on 15 minutes in, I was like, oh.
Well,
$20 I
sometimes you
can't
have
get
to
back.
wait more than 15 minutes for it to kick in. You know,
No.
but you waited
No.
halfway and it still wasn't. You didn't even giggle.
I waited for as long as I was willing,
Okay.
and then I
All
said,
right.
no more.
All
No
right.
more. Jesus, take the wheel. No more.
Okay.
No
All
more.
right. All right. So next topic. For those of you who may be old enough to remember, they are doing a remake of Arachnophobia now. Or excuse me, let me correct myself. They were doing a remake of Arachnophobia. This movie is no longer in development. For those of you who may have been interested, I actually would have been, but it's no longer in development. The script was already completed. Movie was in development and made, excuse me, was made in collaboration with the director Christopher Landon and Steven Spielberg's production company Amblin Entertainment, and was announced in June 2022. By 2023, Landon completed the script. Landon and Amblin Entertainment had a creative disagreement, however.
Hang on one
And
second before you finish the story. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Mhm.
Hang on one. While she's
Yep.
talking, I want to know in the comment section how many people know what she's talking about. I want to know, have any of you seen Arachnophobia? All right,
Mhm.
go ahead, continue.
All right. Landon is quoted as saying there was a component that the studio was very nervous about and uncomfortable with. And that's where we parted. I wasn't willing to compromise on that. I wasn't going to make a change that really felt like a soul crushing, sellout, bad change. So, question: what type of creative differences surrounding a spider horror flick could have caused this to go so far off the doggone rails that the movie has now been scrapped? What creative differences and what felt soul crushing? What do you suppose could have been so soul crushing? Smitty, go take it.
Spider sex.
Smitty, take it.
I don't know. I have no idea. First of all, for those of you who have not seen this movie, it is about a spider that they found in the Amazon jungle that's bigger than your hand, and it sneaks a ride back into the United States, and it finds its way into a small town, and it has lots of babies on this little farm, but they are all completely poisonous, and people around town just start dying. And then there's this there's this boss fight at the end of the movie between this dude and a spider. A spider, man. So, oh, I said Spider-Man, no pun intended. But you know what I'm saying, right? There was a whole thing. They were actually going at it. Like the spider was hiding, and then they would come in and try to bite him, and he would shoot it, and all this other stuff. It was weird, but it was a good movie. It's probably one of my favorites. It was a good one. I don't know what creative differences you can possibly have about a goddamn spider. It's a spider. I don't know why. How could you not? He'd be like, listen, I don't want to go in that direction. All right, well, I don't care. All right, fine, whatever you want. You want to cross the street over there? You want to come out of an egg sack? I don't care. It's a spider movie. I don't give a shit. Right? I don't understand how you don't get through this. Right? What creative thing could you have had? Well, I don't want him to be on the ceiling. I want him to be on the wall. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Right.
You know what? You make it then.
Right. I cannot fathom what possibly could have been such the big issue where he said, quote, soul crushing, that they were just
soul
like,
crushing.
I'm
Soul crushing. Spider movie. Spider. Movie about a goddamn spider. Soul crushing. Enough for you to quit.
Right. I don't get it. Casanova, what do you think?
I don't know. It was like, because Smitty hit all of the points. It was like, what do you have to solve? What did you want to do in this movie that they said, no, let's go in this direction, and that was a deal breaker for you? It was like, what was you trying to do? It was like, spiders don't do but so much.
Right.
Like, unless you was going to have the spider sex, or you was going to have something eat a baby in seconds, or whatever else it was like, I don't see. And that was the soul crushing part, because they said, no, we don't want to do that because we want to bring kids in. It's like, I'm not trying to do that. It was like, are you going to have it, bust out of somebody's chest like an alien homage or something? It's like, but I don't know. It was like, I want to know. I need inside baseball on this.
Yeah.
I need to know what he wanted to put in it that they said no, and then he walked away. That they scrapped the whole project. Because
Could you imagine?
It sounds ridiculous to me.
Could you imagine quitting in this climate? Now you got to go home and tell your spouse, listen, I had it up to here. I walked out. I told him I ain't coming back. You did what? We poor, man. You better go back and get that job. It's about a goddamn spider. You better get back in there.
You stupid.
I don't understand this. I don't understand this.
It's like, it's one of those things, like I said, it's like, I need some website that has all of the inside to put that out there so I can read actually what it was.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to make it my life's mission. I'm going to find out.
All the types of movies that you can walk away from for creative differences, and you walk away from a remake that shouldn't have been happening anyway.
Easy. It could have been good.
Hey,
we don't know.
No.
Okay.
No. It wouldn't have been good. It would have just sat there, like, you would have went, saw this, the original one was better, and it was like, well, this was a waste of time. It would have been like The Evil Dead or something. It was like, I ain't like the remake of that either. So it's like, no.
All right. I mean, they tried. I feel like because I looked excuse me, to try and get more information. They seem a little tight-lipped about it. Like, I feel like it's more embarrassing than they're willing to admit. Like, you know what I mean?
Why they being tight-lipped about it? Because
Right.
it's probably like Smitty said, I want him on the ceiling. No, he should be on the floor. I'm walking away. I can't do this. It was like something like that. It was like, if they're not talking about it, or it was something so over the top and ridiculous, it's like, I don't want my name attached to this, because like there is no way. So yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. It says right here, the new Arachnophobia remake starring Christopher Landon has been canceled, according to Bloody Disgusting, whatever that is. Landon, who was set to direct, stated that while the project was still being considered, the original concept wasn't working for him. He emphasized that while the project is not dead, specific version he was planning wasn't moving forward. Specific version. Listen. listen, if they can go forward with the Jedi movie or whatever it's called, I can't. It's leave my mind. If they can make that shit, if they can put a bow on that and put it out for people to watch, then you can do arachnophobia. You can do arachnophobia, man. You can do it. It's just go get a spider and put his ass on screen, put a person on there, and wrap it up. You know, you're not gonna make billions anyway. It should be another movie in the toy bin. Just make it. Just do it. Stop playing.
Okay, so maybe this is a good theory, right? Maybe it was let's just say the spider would have been CGI versus what it was back in the 80s. I think it came out in the 80s originally, right? So let's just say that he wanted more actual screen time with the spider, and they didn't want to pay for what it would cost to. Would that have been like, if let's say you wanted like five big scenes with like the whole view, or like a great view of this spider, so that it can really like put fear into the people who's watching? Because if it's the overall purpose of the flick, then fine, right? And then they said, no, we're only going to give you 2. Well, then that would, I feel like, have a very impactful, right, on the film, maybe.
If I'm making a movie about killer spiders, and you told me that I can only have 2 for the CGI that we're doing,
right,
and I can only get 2 CGI spiders,
right,
I'm walking away from that movie because you already ain't putting enough money behind it.
2 big CGI spiders, like the little smaller ones that they did in the original movie. You would get those. Like, yeah, we'll.
2 CGI, unless they as big as buildings, it's like they could fight Godzilla, and you only giving me 2 of them. It was like, what's that? Like, even if they half the human size, what's that? $2,000 for special effects or something like that? Like, no, it's like
I mean, you're not doing a biography on Martin Luther King or Kennedy. It's the spiders. Some goddamn spiders. Just do it already. Get your little money, put it in your little pocket, and carry your ass on home and get ready for Arachnophobia 3. And stop. Get this chip off your shoulder. Quit acting like it's gonna bother you.
Okay. All right.
Everybody else sitting out here broke as shit, and you walk away from spider movies. Folks out here struggling. You turning down films. I ain't doing it. I don't like him. He looked at me sideways.
Yes.
What?
Yes. All right. We're gonna move on.
Yep.
All
go
right.
ahead. Move on.
Bones, for those of you who may have watched the original series that came out years ago on Fox. Excuse me. Bones is looking at a reboot starring David Boreanaz as Silly Booth and Emily.
What's that name? What was that name?
Yep. As Temperance.
What was that name?
Brennan. That one, you heard me.
Like you worked in a goddamn butcher shop. Just wrecked the hell out of it. Ha! 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 Just tore it up.
The reboot has not been confirmed, but the cast has expressed a willingness for a return. Would you be interested in a reboot of Booth, or why not? I could live without it.
It's still in syndication now. It just ended like 7 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, it just went off.
I think it ended in like 15, I want to say. But go ahead.
It's like it ended 10 years ago. It's like, why are we doing this? It was like David Boreanaz got other stuff that he could be doing. Zoe Deschanel, it's like, I'm sure she got other stuff she's doing. It's like, did they come and ask us like, hey, we ain't been on TV in a while and I need a job, so can't we bring Bones back? It was like, if everybody was all for it and you were doing it like some kind of 6-episode limited series, it was like, all right. But if you're trying to reboot this as a series to go on for a few years, stop it. It was no.
It would be limited. From what I've read, it would be limited. They didn't say like if it would be a season or 2, but they did indicate that if they brought it back, it would be limited.
Even if you're bringing it back as limited and they all agree to it, somebody got to go. If all the original cast come back, you got to kill somebody.
Don't bring nobody back. Don't bring nobody back.
You
Don't
gotta
bring
kill
nobody
somebody.
back.
If all of them coming back, it's like one of them gotta go.
All right,
If
Stop
one
Smitty.
rebooting.
of them gotta be
No
done.
reboot, Smitty.
Stop rebooting. Unboot it. Huh? Unboot it. Take the boot out. Don't do it. Don't do it. You keep doing these prequels and these reboots. Don't nobody care. Nobody
So
care about Bones like that. Nobody care. We saw it. It's over. It's done. It's done with. Right? I give a shit about Bones. And they're about to
no.
do Harry Potter. They're about to
Yes.
reboot Harry Potter. I think Harry
Yes.
Potter just turned 21. He
Yes.
just finished doing that shit. And they about to reboot it already. Don't reboot it. Don't reboot it. Do something else. Just sit down.
Yeah.
Just
Like,
sit
I would
down.
like to see something else, but it was like, if you bringing something back, it was why? It was
So
like, of
Yeah.
all of the stuff that's on the blacklist out there, all those scripts that's out there that's on
right.
the blacklist that's supposed to be so great and so and so wonderful and supposed to be make great TVs and movies, you constantly rebooting other stuff. That just, to me, just makes it seem like all of the guys in charge of the Hollywood stuff now are not Hollywood guys. They're just tech bros or whoever that want to be in the movie business, and they have no
Mm-hmm.
idea what they're doing. So
Right.
they're greenlighting old stuff because they think it's going to get eyes on it instead of actually doing stuff creative.
I was just about to
So
say, is it something where they are more like, this is kind of a guaranteed win where we'll get our investment and some back because
Is it?
they're afraid to
I don't know.
go
That's
ahead.
what they thought
I
about
didn't
Star
mind.
Wars
I
too.
didn't mind. I didn't mind Bones when it was on, but it's like, oh, we're bringing back the original cast and everything else for 5 episodes. I'm not watching it because I don't care. There's other stuff
Yeah.
for me to watch that I haven't seen before. It's like, you're gonna sit there
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna find a dead body in the woods and they're gonna go back to the museum and figure out and deal with a bunch of other stuff. No, that's enough.
Okay.
It was
All
like,
right.
good
Yeah.
for them if
It's
they all
just
got jobs, but no.
Well,
yeah.
maybe in
It's
this one, how about they have Bones and what's his name? They would have divorced and whatnot. They got a kid now, we'll say, and
Only way
oh,
trying
why
to
you
movie
gonna
would
navigate
be
undo
life.
the happy
interesting.
ending? Are you gonna undo the happy ending just to do it?
I'm
Just ruining families. Just bringing it back to ruin families. That's fine.
just saying.
That's fine.
You're
All
gonna
right,
ruin the
so
family, kill one of them. It was
I
like,
tell,
end
hey,
up killing one
they
of them
keep
and go
doing
from there.
this. They
right.
keep doing this with shows and movies that you care about. Star Wars, Dexter,
Mhm,
Harry Potter.
mhm,
They just refuse to come up with a new idea because
mhm,
they know that the previous movie, right, made all this money. This was
mhm,
so good, right? So what we'll do is we'll start it over. We'll make a prequel because everyone loves a goddamn prequel.
mhm,
No, not at all. Nobody does. So we'll do Rogue One, and then we'll do Dexter's son, and we'll just
mhm.
keep doing all this bars. By the way, we'll just keep doing all this stuff. We'll just keep doing all this stuff, right? And we know you're gonna pay for it because you're an idiot. And it reached its limit with Star Wars. And they was like, listen, close your eyes, just throw some shit on the board, and that's the story we're gonna write. They don't care. They're
Right.
dummies anyway. With the Last Jedi, and then we'll bring all the Jedi back. We just gonna bring everybody who died. They're not gonna care because you're morons. That's what they think you are. They think you stupid, and
Mhm.
they're just gonna bring back whatever. And that's why these movies are shit. And the only way you can get them to stop doing this is to
Mhm,
stop watching it, right? People don't know you have all the power in the world.
mhm,
It's you have all that power. It's not the people making this stuff. It's not the people who are in charge. None of those people are in charge of anything. You do not have any power. You have all the power. If you don't buy it, if you don't go see it, if you don't pay for it, if you don't do any of that shit, the prices come down or the thing exists or people get their ass together, right? Because money matters. So
mhm.
stop watching these bad movies. Stop watching these bad shows, and they'll get their shit together. Maybe, or they won't. Either way,
They won't.
You just end up with more reality TV.
Oh my God! Please don't even get me started on that. All right. I think maybe we have time for one more topic. For those of you who watch Adolescence on Netflix, there is chatter about an Adolescence 2. Adolescence was a 4-episode series that premiered in March. It was produced by Brad Pitt's group, Plan B Entertainment. The series follows the emotional story of a tragic A 13-year-old boy accused of committing a violent crime against a female classmate after a high school controversy surrounding the manosphere, which is, I feel like you all know what that's about. Websites, blogs, men get together, talk about their emotions, et cetera, et cetera. That controversy actually spilled over a little bit into real life. But right now there are talks between Netflix and the series creators about a season 2. So my question is, if there's a season 2, do you think it'll take on another controversial theme? If so, do you have a preference? Also, do you think that it can be done without being preachy?
Go ahead.
Anybody?
Hang on,
Oh.
hang on first before you do that. How's everybody doing? Listen, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to our Discord, right? We can have some fun. We talk about movies and everything. It's free. We don't charge anybody a dime, right? Because they charge you out the ass nowadays. We don't charge you for nothing. All we do is talk about movies every day. And like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. At least leave a like. Helps us out. All right? Back to the show.
Nina, I didn't watch Adolescence either. Hold on. I didn't watch it either because I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. And I'm right there with you. But go ahead, Casanova. I apologize.
So you said this was 4 episodes. So it was like on Netflix, it was 4 episodes.
That's what I read. I didn't.
A season 2. No, I'm just saying it was like it was 4 episodes, and Netflix supposed to do a season 2. But a show that was good, they will cancel after 1 season. It was 8 episodes. So
don't even get me started.
Episodes with this. So no, like I didn't see Adolescence. I was like, I wasn't interested in it. The fact that Netflix wants a second season of something at all means that this must have been relatively cheap to make, and they're able to probably put it together quick. So that's what they do. But I don't know. It's like with most stuff, it's like you can make something and not be preachy about it. It just depends on what messages the directors and the storytellers want to get across. It's like if they want to preach a particular point of view, then you're going to get bludgeoned over the head with that for the length of the show. But like I said, I can't speak too much on Adolescence because I didn't see it. But the fact that they want a season 2 or something when they want to cancel everything else is just kind of annoying.
Ridiculous. Smitty, what do you guys say?
Nita got some strong feelings about Adolescence.
Literally, I'm looking at some of these comments you putting up.
First of all, hang on, wait.
2 episodes in.
Was that the show? Was that the show about the kid who,
literally,
of course,
just
is adolescent?
Yes.
The kid who murdered the. My God! I never ever want to watch some shit like that again.
Oh.
Okay, I watched it. I wanted to burn my eye sockets out. Somebody, and I'm gonna find you. Somebody in Discord recommended that. No. Somebody in the Discord recommended it. Somebody in Discord recommended it. I'm gonna find you too. Ooh, I'm gonna find you. You don't like it. You get banned. The second I'm gonna go back and read them comments.
So what was your problem? What was your problem with it?
It's everything step by step. It's step by step everything, right? I fast forward it. I was watching it, right? And then they were trying to convict the boy, right? They were trying to figure out whether or not he'd done it. And then they took his ass to the police station. Chris. I'm sorry. Yeah, Chris. You ain't got a stage name. My bad. They took his ass to the police office. They took him to booking. Then they took him to his cell. Then they asked him if he wanted cereal. Then they took him out of his cell, took him to go see his lawyer. Then his lawyer asked him questions. After his lawyer asked him questions, they put his back in his cell. Then they talked to his parents. Then his parents talked to the lawyer. Does that sound fun? That was the whole goddamn episode. That's 5 minutes of any other movie. That's 5 minutes of any other show. And they spent the entire episode back and forth. They didn't do anything different, right? Talk to the parents. Parents are mad. Then they just show the parents dealing with the pain of their son being a murderer. This show was terrible. It was terrible. Now, don't get me wrong. There was aspects of the father having to deal with the pain of losing his son. That was
Well, that
good.
was supposed to be the whole premise of the movie, is the
Yeah,
other
but
side.
yeah,
The
but
other
skip something. Skip. You know, I don't need to see him in the bathroom. You know, I don't need to see him taking a shower. I don't need to see him doing that. Just go to the next thing. Go to the next day. What happens to him tomorrow? Is he still sad tomorrow? Can I see that? I don't want to see everything he do. It was just too much. It was too much step by step, and I just didn't care. I honestly didn't care when they got to the. We skipped episode 3. We skipped right over episode 3. Went straight to episode
Jeez.
4. Do you want to hear about episode 4?
No.
Some assholes spray painted their van some nasty word at the house. Then they had to ride to Lowe's. They showed I'm not bullshitting. This is exactly how it went. They got the ride to Lowe's and they talked about the brother. She talked about her brother and the son all the way down to Lowe's. Then they got to Lowe's. Then they were looking for paint to cover up the spray paint that was on the thing on the van. Then somebody recognized them from the news and some little kids started up a conversation with him. Then he went and bought the paint. Then he went outside, tried to fix the paint on the truck, left his can on the floor. Security came out and told him that he needed to move his can. He grabbed the can, got pissy with the security guard. They all piled back into that same goddamn van. And then the whole drive home, that drive took 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back. That was the entire episode. I am not lying. I'm not lying. It was the worst goddamn thing I've ever seen.
So, guys, I think that's a no for Smitty on whether or not he wants a season 2.
If they do Adolescence 2, I'm covering it. I'm covering it. I'm gonna roast it. Ooh. Like a ooh. Yep. We're doing that. We are covering that. If they do that, we covering it. We are covering it like a blanket.
Jeez. All right. I was just, guys, we didn't even get into the potential next topic or if it would be the same thing. Or
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm
No,
sorry. My apologies. Yeah, but that show pissed me off.
It's all right. All right.
Oh my god.
All right. Well,
I'm about to send him I'm gonna send him a nasty gram. I'm gonna put him on Yelp. Can you do that? Can you write up Adolescence on Yelp?
I don't think you can though.
It's a shit movie. Why did you do this?
Okay. All right. Well, we are keeping our people from being able to watch the most recent Daredevil that would have just dropped 2 minutes ago. So
season finale.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Yep. Which we will be covering on Thursday night, guys. So make sure you tune in for Thursday so we can talk about it. Smitty, is there anything else that you want to say before we
just check out. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday. We have Casanova Frankenstein who's going to be joining us every Tuesday. We'll be covering those shows. We cover different shows and movies on Thursday. We'll talk about news and anything relevant to movies and shows on Tuesday. And if you guys can come up with anything, we'd be more than happy to look it over and see if we can talk about it. But yeah, please support the channel. Please support Julie B Deep Dives. We work together a lot, and we're trying to support each other, trying to hit our little benchmarks. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers and 4,000 views. So wouldn't mind helping us out. We would greatly appreciate that.
And
Smitty
didn't announce it, but we have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter page, and we have a Blue Sky page. We also have an Instagram page. So make sure you guys check those out. We do post things on there have started posting things on there from time to time. They just came up in live. Smitty will post the links in the Discord. Also, Ninaverse, I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale a few seasons ago. I loved the show. I just got to a point I could not stomach it because it was too. I was having to anxiety watching it.
Just go outside, you live in it.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but we could talk about it on Discord. I know it's a good show. I love the actors in it. I know it's a great show. I just could not take it anymore. But we could talk about it in Discord. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe for our show. Again, for Julie B, thank you for joining us in the comments this evening. We really appreciate it. Smitty, was there anything else that you wanted to say?
No, be good to each other, man. It's tough out there. Don't shit on each other. It's hard enough being who you're supposed to be, and try to pick each other up. And I'll see y'all on Discord, man. See y'all
Right.
Thursday. I
All
love
right.
y'all.
Cheers, guys.